The first step in glycolysis is the phosphorylation of glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. During this process, one ATP molecule will be hydrolyzed into ADP and phosphate. The phosphate will be attached to the carbon number 6 of glucose, hence the name glucose 6-phosphate. This reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme hexokinase. Step 2. Isomerization. In this step, glucose 6-phosphate will be rearranged into fructose 6-phosphate. Notice that the change is only in terms of the structure of the molecule and not the chemical formula, hence the name isomerization. In step 3, fructose 6-phosphate will be phosphorylated into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. In this step, phosphate from hydrolysis of ATP will be transferred to the carbon number 1 of the fructose. So now we have two phosphate attached to the carbon number 1 and number 6 of the fructose. The transfer of phosphate group from ATP to the fructose is catalyzed by enzyme phosphofructokinase. Next, in step 4, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will be split into DHAP and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate G3P. In step 5, DHAP will undergo isomerization to form another molecule of G3P. This is why, following energy investment phase of glycolysis, 2 G3P will be produced from each glucose molecule. Each of the G3P will have 3 carbon molecules. Next, G3P will enter energy payoff phase of the glycolysis, where in step 6, each G3P will undergo oxidation and phosphorylation to form 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Oxidation of G3P will remove electron, which will be transferred to NAD+, and reduces NAD+ into NADH plus H+. This redox reaction will occur twice since we have 2 G3P molecule from energy investment phase. Step 7. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate will undergo substrate level phosphorylation to form 3-phosphoglycerate. During this process, enzyme will transfer phosphate group from carbon number 1 of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to an ADP molecule to form ATP. Again, this process will occur twice since we have 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. This is how ATP is directly produced during glycolysis. The next step is isomerization. In this step, the phosphate group attached at the carbon number 3 will be transferred to the carbon number 2. So 3-phosphoglycerate will become 2-phosphoglycerate. Next, each 2-phosphoglycerate will undergo dehydration reaction where water molecule will be removed and form 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate or PEP. In the last step of glycolysis, PEP will undergo substrate level phosphorylation to form pyruvate. During this process, an enzyme will transfer the phosphate group from PEP and attach it to the ADP molecule to form ATP. Up until this point, 2 ATP will be produced via substrate level phosphorylation for each of the G3P molecule. Since there were 2 G3P produced from the energy investment phase, a total of 4 ATP will be produced during the energy payoff phase. However, if we're speaking of the net production of ATP during glycolysis, there will be only 2 net production of ATP. In conclusion, during glycolysis, each glucose will be oxidized into 2 molecules of pyruvate and then 2 molecules of NADH plus H plus along with total of 4 ATP molecules, or net of 2 ATP molecules.